We're joined by Tom with Louisiana Renaissance Festival. Hello.
Well, hello there.
Or is the thing to say huzzah? Is that right?
Huzzah would be what you would say if you were enthusiastic and cheering something. If I'm
Okay.
saying hello, I might say, "Got you good den."
Gotcha. Got you. Good day.
Yes, got you
So,
good den. Yes,
I see. I'm going to screw it all up.
that's
I'll
all
go
right.
back to my 2024 English that's bad enough as it is, and we can talk about things all things 16th century though with the Louisiana Renaissance Festival. So, to people who've never been to Ren Fest, what do we expect?
So the Renaissance Fair and the Renaissance fairs across the country
Mhm.
are a unique live theater venue. It's also interactive and immersive. So you go to the Renaissance Fair. The very first thing you do, when you walk through the gates, we actually have like a castle gate. You walk through the gate, and immediately you are confronted with all sorts of different costume characters speaking in funny dialects, shows on all the stages, various vendors with very unique items and wares, handcrafted wares and such. Stages all throughout the day, characters walking in the lanes, interacting with you. So it's a really immersive experience.
And what's cool is it's not just your actors and actresses that are dressed up, but we've got people that go to Ren Fest that take it seriously and dress up themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And that is
Yeah.
a phenomenon. So I've been doing this for 34 years, but that is a phenomenon that has really um, taken off in the past 10, 15 years. A
Mhm.
lot of the guests that come are now coming in costume and have their own characters and everything, and that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
great. When I first started, it was a handful of people would do that, but now it's becoming more and more of a thing, and
Mhm.
it really just adds to the entire event. Although I will say, not necessary for you to come in costume to
No,
enjoy
not at all.
yourself, but it does add a little something.
But I mean, look, we're in New Orleans and the surrounding area. We will take any opportunity to dress up,
Oh, absolutely.
Renfest or not. We also want to come hungry because, when I think Renfest, Louisiana Renaissance Festival, I think giant turkey leg, not just any turkey leg, but I mean ones that are the size of a small Honda, basically.
I don't know that they're quite that large, but
Not quite that
they are
big. I'm
not
just trying to paint a
insignificant.
picture. They are large.
They are very large. There's all sorts of good food and drink there, uh, of all different kinds. There's tucked back away. Some people discover it and it becomes their new favorite. There's a little Mediterranean grill out by the
Mm-hmm.
joust list, and like that's the one my wife always goes to.
Mm-hmm.
But there's all sorts of different foods and drinks. We have fully stocked bars. We do tasting events throughout the run. We do a beer tasting, a wine tasting, mead tasting this weekend, whiskey tastings. Pirate weekend, we do a rum tasting. So bring your taste buds. There's certainly a lot to sample.
Now, I know you do different themes. This weekend is the Viking theme. What can we expect with a Viking theme?
So with the Viking theme, first of all, our tasting events have modified. So we're doing mead and whiskey
What
to
is
sort of.
mead?
Mead is like a honey wine.
Okay.
It is. Imagine making wine, but instead of using grapes, you use honey.
Hmm.
Wine you normally ferment the grapes. This you ferment the honey.
Okay.
It is the one of the only alcohols that is naturally occurring. If
Interesting.
a beehive gets wet and sits out in the sun, ta-da, you have mead.
All right. So, in addition to the mead, what else do we get from the Viking weekend?
Well, a lot of people are dressed up very specifically Viking themed. Um, we've got a couple of acts that are more Viking oriented that will be there. So it's not that the whole thing becomes a Viking fair. It's just there's an homage to that whole sort of Norse thing throughout the festival day.
It's probably like when the Saints are at home in the Superdome and we got people from Minnesota visiting and they dress up in their Viking gear to go watch a football game. Eh?
Sort of.
No. Just it's exactly the same, but completely different.
Completely different. Although I have seen people come on into the festival on Viking weekends wearing Minnesota stuff just because.
Just
Uh,
because, right?
you're
And
like, I'm
see,
a
if you're going
Viking.
to do that, you got to have a Saints weekend. Just saying.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of cool demonstrations too. Like I think about, watching the guys on horseback jousting and various other cool stuff that we can see. What can we expect?
Well, so yes, obviously jousting. We have a fully armored joust that occurs. The joust company that we bring in. Um, They are real guys on real big horses in armor with big lances, and they are really trying to knock each other off
Ooh.
during the show. But we also have a bunch of other demonstrations. We have a Mark Holler is our glass blower. He's been there for years. Makes beautiful, beautiful work, and he has several times during the day where he will uh, talk to you while he's making his product. And basically, I don't want to call it a demonstration or a show, but it's kind of like a Q&A session with him while he's working. We also have a blacksmith who are there more than happy to explain what's going on when they're making things. We have some of our local cast who have set up and are doing various traditional crafts as well. Like we have somebody who's making hand dipped candles. So you can see how that works. We have somebody who is making dyes out of vegetable matter and bugs of all things. So that she's showing you how they would grind up certain leaves to make a certain color to dye fabric. So there's a lot to be educated about when you're at the festival.
And I know there's a lot of things that you can buy. Can you buy that stuff? Like you watch a blacksmith make something, can you turn around and buy it, or do you go to a special marketplace for that?
The blacksmith, you can buy his wares.
Cool.
The glass blower, obviously, he's all set up. Our demonstrators are more showing you how things work
Mhm.
on that regard, but I would say probably I'll say a majority of our vendors have handcrafted items. So you can actually, very often they'll be making stuff and then putting it right out on the shelf. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
that's kind
cool.
of cool to see.
Yeah, I admit that I have not been to the one here, but I've been to the one in right outside Charlotte, North Carolina, in Concord.
Yes.
And I just remember walking through and, seeing just some amazing crafts and whatnot for sale. And
Mhm.
it's kind of one of those things that, you definitely want to make a day of it because you want to watch the jousters and all the various demonstrations, and you want to go and look at all of the different vendors, and you want to eat all the food and drink all the drinks too. So
Oh,
definitely
absolutely.
a day. It's a whole day.
It is a full day, and we try to provide entertainment throughout the day. I'm the
Mhm.
entertainment director of the Renaissance Fair. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. So it's my job to hire these acts that are coming in and performing on the stages and the people in the lanes to entertain. In addition to the food and the shopping, it's kind of like we look at the Renaissance Fair as we all work together. So the vendors, the food and beverage people, the entertainers, we all work together to create this experience.
And it's such a cool experience. I'm going to be out there Saturday afternoon from noon to 2 doing
Excellent.
our what we call a remote in radio. So I'll be out there, but I know that we don't just drive up and get tickets. You prefer that we buy tickets online ahead of time. So tell us how to do that.
You want to go to LARF .org. That stands for Louisiana Renaissance Fair,
Mhm.
LARF, as we sometimes call it. And then
larf.org.
once you get on the website, you can buy for the specific days that you want to come to the festival. Um, if you want to do any of the tasting events or any of the extra add-ons like that, you can also get the tickets right then and there. And if something should go terribly wrong and you need to reschedule, there are things in place on the website that you can transfer your tickets to a different
Cool,
day if something has happened. So
cool
we try
stuff.
to make it as easy as possible for you with that website. Again, that's larf.org.
Yep. LA is in Louisiana, RF is in Ren Fest. So
That is
there.
correct.
larf.org. And once you get there, parking's free. And like I say, come early, make a day of it, because I just remember, like I say, going to that previous experience at the Carolina Renaissance Festival. And just, it's one of those things that you can spend a lot of time there and have a blast the entire time. It's a lot of fun. So definitely looking forward to being up there Saturday with the radio station, and just want everybody checking this out right now to go check it out as well. It's in Hammond, right off River Road. And what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. It's going on through December 8th.
It goes through December 8th. We have different theme weekends. We've got all kinds of student days next week, where we bus in a bunch of school groups for their field trip, and they come to the Renaissance Fair. Just a whole bunch of fun and entertainment. Our lineup changes as far as entertainment goes throughout the run too. So you can, if you come this weekend and you come the last weekend, some of the acts will be different. So you can see something brand new. I personally will be there doing my show. I'm also a performer. I have the
What do you do?
Squash sword fighting show.
Oh, you're a sword fighter.
Well, I'm a comedian who happens to sword fight, is the way I like to look at it.
Do you swallow the sword, or is that a little bit post 16th
that is
century?
A different gentleman. We do have a sword swallower this weekend.
Wow. Okay.
Sideshow Cy is his name.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Tom, we appreciate your time, and we will be seeing you every weekend through December 8th. Again, 101.1 WNOE going to be out there this Saturday from noon to 2. Tickets at larf.org. LA as in Louisiana, RF as in renfest.org. And just a really, really cool experience. It's not your typical Louisiana festival just because you walk in and get transported back to the 16th century, and it's a ton of fun. So
I do also want to mention we are in fact open Black Friday as well.
Oh.
So in case your weekends get filled up, and you still want to come, that is another option. Black Friday, if you want to get away from the shopping, or maybe just do some very different shopping,
there you go.
We're open on Black Friday.
I love it. I love it. Appreciate your time, and we will see you Saturday and probably Black Friday and all the way through December 8th. Lots and lots of fun up there in Hammond at Louisiana Renaissance Festival.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you. You have a great day.
You as well.
See ya. Bye-bye.